Hello, I am Max from Test Drive Blogs, and today, let's have a look at this 1990 Mazda Miata.
It's time to find out whether Miata is always the answer or not. This Miata is finished in a crystal white paint with a black soft top. And when you open the door, you're greeted by a very original black cloth interior. The door panels are nicely padded, with your door handle above the armrest, manual window crank, and a speaker down below. The thing that makes this Miata really special is that it was actually made in 1989, so it's kind of a 1989 or 1990, depending on which way you look at it, and it also only has 29,000 original miles on it. It only comes with a single metal key, with the word Mazda etched onto it. And so on to the rest of the interior. To the left of the steering wheel you have your various sliding controls, a simple clean set of gauges with just the necessities, and on the right stalk you have your wiper controls. The steering wheel is a 4-spoke design with the Mazda badge in the middle, horn buttons on either side, and an airbag back behind, and then to the right on the dash you have your lighter, as well as your center stack, which of course houses the best button ever, the headlight up and down button for manual purposes, your climate control down below that, which this one actually did come with air conditioning, and your factory radio down below that, which it does feature a CD player as well. There are 2 transmission options available for the Mark I Miata, either the standard 5-speed manual as you see here, or a 4-speed automatic. The emergency brake is to the left of the shifter. There's a small ashtray, as well as glove box back behind. The rearview mirror is manual dimming, and the driver's visor does actually hold the top instructions, as well as some other warnings. And before we check out the outside, let's go put the top down. Just undo the clips on either side, and then pull back on the top. Miatas have probably the easiest tops to put down of any car. And so let's go ahead and shut it down, and check out the outside. Miatas have always been a very recognizable car on the road. With their smiling front bumper, those little pop-up headlights, and its very small design, you can't really mistake them for anything else. As I mentioned, this is an early build of a Miata. It was actually built in 1989, but the model year only started in 1990 for the United States, in which the first generation, or the NA, lasted until 1997. There are a few factory exterior options available for the Miata, such as a front spoiler, a rear spoiler, a deck lid kind of ducktail spoiler, side skirts, as well as a factory hardtop. This car is pretty basic, so it didn't come with any of those from the factory. From 1990 to 1994, the engine available in the Miata was a 1.6-liter inline-4. In 1994, they switched to a higher output 1.8-liter. This one does have one very nice factory option though. It actually came with the stock tonneau cover for the top. As well as recently a new top was installed in this car, and it has a glass rear window, which was an option, while the plastic rear window was standard. This Miata does feature the A package, which basically means it came with power steering, a leather-wrapped steering wheel, alloy wheels, and a cassette stereo, in which in this case it was actually upgraded to a CD player. Of course, the Mazda Miata is a rear-wheel drive, front-engine sports car. Although it didn't make much power, it only weighed a little bit over 2,000 pounds, so it actually makes for a pretty potent little race car. Hence why you see these all the time in autocross and SCCA and all that. As I mentioned beforehand, the first few years of the Miata came with a 1.6-liter inline 4-cylinder engine, which made about 115 horsepower and 100 foot-pounds of torque at the crank. It did feature EFI and dual overhead cams. Being that this car is a convertible and a very small one at that, trunk space is very limited. You have your spare tire back here, as well as all tools needed to change it out. So thank you all for watching this video of the 1990 Mazda Miata Roadster. Be sure to check out Moto Exotica's info in the description below, and I'm out of here. See ya.